Alright, NET-213, Cisco networking, transport layer. Actually, we spent some time at the beginning of the class. We did the skills-based activity, the practice on connectivity. Switch hooked to a router, had a default gateway, we omitted DNS. We talked about, this was the address on the router. We talked about what the 24 represent, prefix bits, indicates which parts of the network. We looked at an example. We talked about problems with pinging and firewalls, and so they all were able to get connectivity to each other. And we have the actual test on Friday. Very similar to this. They captured their work in Wireshark with pings so they could look at the packets. Reviewed the OSI model, TCP IP model. They took the pretest for chapter 4 on transport layer, and then we used example of the internet. If you were at a device, you send a URL to a particular website, maybe it's running Apache. Talked about the protocols that are being used. And then it creates, it's going to segment the information to send back, gets transmitted through the internet back to your device. And so we talked about that TCP division up into a segment, has that data, and then adds information to that segment. We'll talk about the specifics on Friday, but we also talked about UDP. A much smaller segment because it does not do any of the error checking. We talked about being reliable. TCP, being reliable, it's going to keep asking for the packets, has a sequence number and so forth in there until it gets them all before it transfers it back up to the session. Where UDP is not going to check best effort, it's going to just take what it gets and transfer it up. We're going to cover the specifics. I gave them back their chapter 3 work they did on paper, and on Friday they'll get to retake that test, and then we'll talk about the transport layer but in detail on Friday. And so that's it. Just a reminder, on Friday they have that skills based, very similar to the one here that we practiced. That's it.